Sorry. Good morning. So I'm celebrating today. I have a cookie because I had my first troll yesterday. That's how you know you create value for some people. Is that some other people get so um, provoked for some reason? I don't know. I guess it's a diversity of viewership or something. But yeah, I found it funny. So I'm celebrating with a cookie today. Um, but I have an hour now, I think, before I have a session with some colleagues. I'm just gonna ask them if we're gonna have that session. Let's see, Alex. There we go. I need some music as well. Let's see. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, so we started building this thing, or we had this conclusion that no, the only really good thing that came out of all these learnings is, of course, all the learnings, but in terms of mm, abstractions and tools, it was really this prompt-to-json thing. I forgot to, yeah. Mm, um, and I just tried it. Like, you don't even actually need to, like here, where is it? Don't even have to set the response format. The prompt should be so good that, yeah, we should try it. But I read that like the temperature of coding should really be 0, and the same for, what's it called? Top P? I'm not sure what the default of top P is. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it. Anyways, the thing we're trying to create is it doesn't really have like, it has more of a marketing value, I think, but it could prove itself useful. So the point is, when you go to CodeSandbox.io, I want you to be able to. Oh, this was. Let's zoom in a little bit. So when you click new sandbox, you should be able. We should have prompt there, so you can just write what you want, and then we generate a sandbox out of that. So how useful that is as compared to like searching templates and stuff. I think it's kind of useful, right? But it's more of a marketing thing, and it just puts some value from all our, like some concrete value from all our iterations and reflections and everything. On a scale from 1 to 10. What scale? What's on a scale from 1 to 10? Um. Oh, how useful it is, or but the biggest problem, not problem, but the thing is that for Code Sandbox to make this a free service, it needs to use GPT 3.5. There's no way we're gonna allow users to use GPT-4. It's just too expensive. So the challenge is to create something. It's kind of a marketing thing, but oh, exactly. Mm. Yeah, I love like watching these clips on YouTube. That's what I mostly look at for like entertainment on YouTube. It's the comedians. Um, Oh, but yeah, there's a lot of awesome comedians. I love watching those. That's very like a lot of comedians kind of has the same like presentation. They have just different topics, I guess, and different jokes. But some of them are like very different from the others. So I've been watching this guy. His name is Jesselnick or something. He just has this like he does like joke by joke. He almost like does a check every time he presents a joke. But they're really dark. Some of them. Yeah, he's funny. Um, and then that what's his name, Matt Rife or something. He got a suddenly like a lot of attention for doing like crowd work, um, which was funny. Mm. But yeah, there's a ton of comedians. Anyways, what were we playing around with here? We were playing. Okay, so we're just doing something to kind of fill out the stuff we can fill out. So in this case, I'm just checking: does it fill out the template, the external resources, and does it produce actual code? Okay, I'm looking forward to reading the email. Um, so let's see here. Okay, so this is interesting. Why is it creating? It's actually writing Tailwind CSS classes. Uh, that's very interesting. Why does it do that? But it does create the code, right? But for some reason, it actually implements Tailwind CSS classes. But it does add it as an external resource as well. That's interesting. Uh, One big problem I see now is okay. So one big problem we have is that if you use yeah, this is a big problem. So if you use create React app, um, we it needs a certain structure. Like you need a public folder with an index.html file. But I think that's fine. Like we can make this agnostic to so the files here are basically agnostic to yeah, so let's not call it file path. Let's call it let's just call it name, file name. The name of the file. Because what we're gonna do is just say like we know the templates. That's the first thing we check is that has it actually inputted a template that we have in our system? And if it does that correctly, we'll take the files and we put it into like the source folder, which is different based on the template, and kind of wire it together there. But yeah, it's incredibly funny that it like creates Tailwind CSS class names. Using XPath. Would it like return instructions to change the template? Like I don't know XPath. I don't know XML that well. Like I'm a primarily JavaScript, TypeScript developer. With I remember my first project like in I was 25 or something, 24, and presenting to the team about single page applications. That wasn't a thing at the time. About what if we don't do server-side rendering? What if we just return JSON? And then we build the experience in the client. But yeah, I really love that idea. I think that's something incredibly powerful. I thought about the same for or something similar for, I think we talked about this, like Playwright, which is basically functions for interacting with the browser. That would also be interesting. Like, one thing is like creating some AI that can actually interact with an actual browser, but there are like these APIs, and they're also headless, which is also interesting. So you can like run an LLM and handle like, yeah, call it, and then on the server you can actually use Playwright to load up a page and interact with it. Yeah, I would love to see something like that. And that's a really cool idea, by the way. And just in general, like, what if, like, now I had this like prompt to JSON tool, and what a really cool abstraction over that could be is like prompt to API or whatever. So, or prompt to instructions or something. So it will still be a JSON response, but it's a type of JSON response that's tuned to calling APIs of some npm package or like a tool that you have. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Anyways, let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna do. Let's. You know what? We're just gonna insert this value in the thing here. Where are you? There we go. Generate. Oh no. Oh, interesting. I got bad JSON. I wonder how it looks like. Do I get it? Can I see it here? Oh, that's a preview. Choices, index, message. I wonder what was wrong here. Copy value. What's happening here? Oh, that's interesting. Wait, is that the... Wait a minute. Why did it say... Why did I get an error? Unexpected token? Copy value. What the hell? Okay, so maybe I didn't actually copy anything. Copy string contents and do that. Why can't I copy it? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. So this is already... Wait, copy value. Wait a minute. Where is the problem? Oh, I guess it's this one. Oh, look at that. It... No, that's right. Entry. What? process. And it says valid. Wow, what's the problem? At position 205, line 5. Can I get like, isn't there oh, JSON validator? Maybe I need to use a validator. And there we go. Yeah, so here's the problem somewhere. File name. So after 0, where is it? I am confused. What is the problem with this JSON? Why does it say there's a comma there? Is it? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's a different place in the code. Radius. No, it's here. Like slash n and then comma template. Oh, create. There's no problem with this. I don't understand it. Is there like a hidden space or something? Yeah, well, you can do that. ChatGPT. What is the problem with this JSON? Escaping issue. Oh, I guess that's it. Oh no. Depending on how there could be issues in how it's stricken or house. I didn't get any smarter. But it's what I don't understand is that it inserts a comma here. That comma doesn't exist. Oh, sorry, there it does exist. Ah, okay, that is the problem. So that is valid. Oh yeah, of course. So, oh yeah, it just had a comma in the array. Okay, anyways, I'm not gonna get hung up on that because I'm thinking to, if it fails on the JSON, it should like try again. That looks fine. It's incredibly weird that it's oh my god, that was cold coffee. It's incredibly weird that it writes the actual tailwind, but this is like, we can't do anything about this. I can do some like prompt engineering probably to avoid this specific case, but with the goal of this tool, we can't do that because it's so diverse what people would do here. So I'm thinking the most important thing is that it creates something valid that we can run, and it does do that here. Now, another thing we're going to try now is where's the did I put the where did I put the thingy? Oh, did I close it? Let's see. I'm just gonna find that thread. Let's see, what was the URL? API code sandbox IO meta open API pretty print. And yeah, create request. And we have npm dependency. So this is what I'm curious about. Map of dependencies and their version specifications. Oh. Does JSON schema support that? Like a dynamic object? Well, but we can okay, we just have to we can convert that. That's fine. So we're going to use what we have, which is let's see. I'm very curious as we extend like the scope of this npm dependencies. So we would have to use an array of object. You know what? I think I'm gonna flip around. So you do the description first, and then you do the. It's really annoying because you kind of want to do the description first. Anyways, so schema object, and then list of npm dependencies. And this would be name, which is a schema string, the name of the npm package, and then we have version, which is also a schema string. Oh, what did I do? Oh, sorry. Version, which is a schema string of version, the version of the npm package. So things like we need a name and we need a version, an npm dependency. So for example, with Tailwind, like you get into these iffy situations. So with Tailwind, you can use that as an external dependency, and you can use it as an npm dependency. But we want to use it as an external resource because it's just a sandbox. And Tailwind has its own like build process, which sandboxes doesn't support. So it's very, very finicky, this stuff. But let's just see what it does. Okay, so I am prompting that it should be a sandbox. I don't know to what extent. Like it has probably been trained on a shit ton of our sandboxes. Like we have millions of sandboxes created by users. So that might benefit us. But anyways, it's weird that it does this, but we concluded that that's fine. That's fine. We're not gonna. But now we have npm dependencies. The cool thing is that it's really good at filling out the JSON schema, even though it's GPT 3.5. I'm really happy about that. Okay, so now we have what's missing here now. What is missing here? I think we're good to go. Like, we can actually test this now. So what I need to check is oh, why aren't I signed in here? So what we need to check is let's use this. I'm just gonna open a sandbox that has, oh, this is the old editor. Hi, Ona. So good to hear from you. Yeah, I'm this is like early. I think this was the first merge we got from Code Sandbox. So I'm full legacy today. We're even in version 1 editor by chance. So yeah, we're full legacy today. I hope you're doing good. Let's see. So we're basically gonna generate this stuff, the package JSON, the source folder. Like, we're gonna this is the template, and we're gonna hard code the files we need there, and then we're gonna populate the source file with the files we generated from the AI. So I think what we can do first is you know what, we're just gonna copy this stuff over, and then we're gonna, where's our project? So let's create a folder, new folder, templates, and a new file. This will be create React app, and then let's just call it index.html. Oh, does it have? Sorry. Like that. Oh, more. And then that thing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have our HTML file, and then we can do package JSON. We need that one. And what's interesting about this is that we need to populate this with our own dependencies. So we're gonna say depth is a record of string, and then we're gonna generate that thing, and we are gonna, oh yeah, we can't really use code here. I think we need to take these, and we're gonna do JSON stringify all depths null2, and then we actually have to return this like so. Oh, maybe it should be like this, but shouldn't it be 1, 2? Oh, why is it doubly? Doesn't matter. all depths would be this and then depths. So we can do that, and then we just put that into the dependencies array. And then we have that one, and that means export function create. And then files would be an array of name and code. And then we should be able to generate the actual full list of files by just saying well, first we need to list the actual files. So let's see what the API requires. Where did I put that? Here. So we need to put in files which has code. Oh, it's an actual map. Okay, where the key is the path. And then we don't deal with binary here, so that's fine. I'm not sure if we actually have to fill this in. I don't think so. But we can do that. So let's just okay, so it's not that. It should be public index HTML is index HTML. And then we can say package JSON is, yeah, so we need to pass in depths. Pass in the depths. And then we should be able to, you know what, we're just gonna say API payload. Oh, yeah, this should be the full API payload. So we should say files like this. Return API payload. We should type this and stuff, but now let's just test it. So now we want, yeah, let's just go through our files. Name, code. And then we just API payload files. Source, name equals code. Oh, code. And then, does it think of this as a const now? Whoa, shouldn't that work? Oh, by the way, this is wrong. Code. Should probably, oh yeah. There we go. Should probably just create this type for this. Anyways, we'll fix that. Okay, so we're adding the files there. And then we can also say, let's bring in the is binary false. Then is binary false. And then what other stuff do we need? So we have description, yeah, entry. Oh, we need to pass that as well. So entry is just a string, but we can say entry is source entry. We have external, external resources. We need to pass that as well. So that should just be external resources. Let's actually make this an object. Data External resources. Okay, cool. And yeah, we need to pass in the npm dependencies as well. npm dependencies is a record of string. Well, here it is actually an array of name string, version string. We need to convert that into map. So npm dependencies would be data npm dependencies. We'll reduce that into an object which is like a record of string. Agger. And we basically just say dep, so that would be agger dep.name equals dep.version. So now we have the npm dependencies in there. What else do we need? Optional text description. We'll drop the we can put like a description sandbox generated by GPT. Is frozen, we don't care about that. Path, we don't care about that. Privacy, we don't care about that. Tags, we don't care about that. Template, we do care about that. So currently the template needs to be like create React app. Well, I guess we can hard code that. Because that's something we check on the outside. And title, defaults to no title. Okay, so the only required thing is the actual files. Interesting. Okay. The record type, this one. This is because reduce it fails. TypeScript doesn't infer an empty object as like a dynamic object of string to string. So I have to be explicit about it. Record string to string is just an object where every key is a string and every value is a string. I think we're good. At least we can try it. I might be missing something, but we can try to now just take this response. And this response, no, sorry, not this response. Let's call that something else. Let's call it sandbox. No, sorry, not that response. Where are you? There you are. Sandbox. So we have the sandbox, so we should now be, I'm just gonna assume that we have the create React app template. So if this kind of works out, I'm gonna demo it to some colleagues and ask if we wanna actually implement this. Okay, yeah, we have some more time. Let's see. Yes. What was I doing? Yes, so we're gonna try to send this to the actual Code Sandbox API now, but I'm not sure where we're gonna include the token. I guess that's like what's it called? A bearer? Oh, interesting. Okay, so here we go. Meta info, sandbox, post. You can post to sandbox and then application JSON schema, sandbox create request. And this is the response. Yeah, bearer. Authorization bearer. Okay, so we're gonna try this. We're gonna do a fetch to. Did I get a stream? Like a staging key? Did we create a staging key? I think we did. So we need to go to https codesandbox.stream/API. I think we have to go to v1 sandbox. And then method would be post, and then headers would be content type. Content type is application JSON. And then authorization would be bearer. And where's our CSV API key? And then the body should just be JSON stringify create sandbox. Oh yeah. So depths would be sandbox. Entry would be external resources. And files would be sandbox of files. Oh, what's depths? Okay, so files didn't quite fit there. Oh, file name. Excuse them. Why do I have depths and name? That's weird. Wait a minute, what am I doing here? So, oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? I did something weird. So these are npm dependencies. Wait. Where, didn't I have a spread of... did I remove that? Wow. How did that happen? So we have depths. Oops. So these are like considered... Yeah, this is weird. I'm not sure what I did here. Because this should include the actual dependencies from here as well. Oh, I do it here. Sorry. That's how we do it. Okay, so I think we should move that so we can do that in the other file. We just say depths. And then we rather do it here. So we can put the initial depths here, and then we'll add the other ones. And then that's what we're gonna pass into package JSON. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So yeah, and then I had, it should be file name. Oh, file name instead. Cool. Mm. Mm. So let's take a look at the actual response we get here. Probably gonna get an error, but we have to start somewhere. Generate. By the way, I have to excuse the weirdness with my eyes. I'm waiting for new coating on my glasses to. I wonder if this is a common thing. I do wonder if this is a common thing. Because it seems to do the same thing. Like it has trailing. Maybe that could be part of the prompt that we say without trailing commas. Let's see. Maybe there's a way to do that. JSON parse. Like handle trailing commas. JSON 5. Yeah, maybe we should. That's interesting. Yeah, JSON for humans. Do they have? Yeah, maybe we should make that a dependency. Let's do that. Let's fix that. We're gonna make JSON 5 a dependency of our little prompt project. So let's see. Yarn add JSON 5. And then we're going to use JSON 5 for the parsing. How does it work? Import JSON 5 from JSON 5. And JSON 5, yeah, it's just parse, right? That's interesting. That's a huge improvement. So this should work. Let's just update the package and just think that it works. And hopefully it does. We can try to build it and see what happens. It built. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll do an npm publish, and I need my watch for this one. Let's see. Where's the code? Where's the code? There's the code. 854177. Oops. Okay. Let's see if it just behaves better now. Yarn, and did we use yarn here? No, we didn't. Add prompt to JSON latest. And I'm just gonna, I have experiences with Vite where it just keeps the old dependency. So we're gonna delete that and run it again. Let's see. Generate. Maybe now it completely breaks. I have a tendency to do this when I'm iterating on a new package. I have a tendency to just yeah, so it's a course issue. Oh, but I don't think, yeah, so sorry, it shouldn't be API v1, it should be a different address, I think. Meta. Did my colleague say something about this? Let's see. Post. Oh, yeah, cool. API.code_sandbox and then sandbox. Nice. Wow, they did some nice work on this. Okay, let's try again. Generate. Unauthorized. Type course. So I guess I need to ask about this. Morning. Oh. I'm trying to call the API from localhost. Should it not work from any URL, or I need to call it from a server, not a browser? We might need to call it from Node. And we can fix that quite easily. I don't think my colleague, Sanne, her name is Sanne. She's awesome. I don't think she's at work quite yet. Maybe she has a day off. I'm not sure. Then we're gonna create a little server. Can I use Vite for this? Maybe we can do that. We can create a Vite Express thing. Is this a thing? This is definitely a thing. You can distribute server and just server without fear. That's great for front end, but when you want to include server side, thanks to Vite Express, you can just easily start writing full stack app in seconds. That's what we want, right? Yeah, so I think we're gonna do this. Seems like the most straightforward approach. So let's npm add express, Vite Express. But do I still... How do I configure Vite for this? Oh, we just run the script. Okay, we'll try it. And I guess it needs to be a JS file. Yeah, like running Node with TypeScript is awful. I always get stuck on that. I think this needs to be, yeah, type module. Okay, so we're gonna try to... How does it know to does it use the Vite how does it know? Does it just know? Okay, so if we do node server, that didn't work. Module not found. What do I call it? Oh, I call it index. Node server. Server is listening. Yeah, just works. That's what we like. Okay, so let's do like post API/sandbox. And then we're gonna make the call from our server instead, because then we should bypass any course issues, I hope. So we're gonna move this. Is there a way to like easily proxy? There is. Express proxy request. HTTP routing proxy. Express HTTP proxy. Okay, we're gonna do that. Express HTTP proxy. Let's see if we can make this work. And then we're gonna add this. Proxy. So this would be HTTPS, I guess. API called sandbox. Stream sandbox. Okay, and then we do this. And then yeah, we don't care about query string. And then okay, let's just try it. How does it know it's a post? Method? No. How does it know it's a post? Well, oh, okay. It just proxies, of course. So it tries to do a post to the endpoint, and then it will fail if it's wrong. Okay, I think maybe this will work. Let's try running the server first. So at least it runs the server. That's a good thing. And then what we're gonna do here is we're rather gonna say /API/sandbox, and then we're gonna send exactly the same information, and that should work. At least in terms of sending the request. Let's see what happens. Internal server error. Okay, can I... URL is not defined. Okay, what does that mean? Ugh, we have to deal with this now. Express HTTP proxy URL. I'm not using Express HTTP. Okay, let's do this one instead then. So this would be HTTP. Create proxy middleware. Hopefully this actually works. App use. Can I just do this? And then target is HTTPS API called sandbox.stream. And then change origin true. Okay, let's try this instead. Generate. Unauthorized. Okay, so it might be because it's not keeping the headers. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna explicitly set this, instead of setting the authorization and the headers, well, yeah, so we're gonna do authorization. Unauthorized. Well, so that at least we're hitting the endpoint. Need to figure out. Let's see. I'm wondering, like, is there keep headers? Is there like a preserve header key case? Like unauthorized could also mean like I'm hitting. So yeah, I think we have to do. I'm wondering if it's keeping that path. Auto rewrite. What's that? Rewrite the location host port on. Yeah, that's something else. Path rewrite. I think maybe, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna do this. So we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Then we're gonna try again, because I don't often unauthorize it's just because you're hitting some invalid endpoint. It can be like the wrong. Oh, now I'm getting. Oh, interesting. What's the. Oh, it's still pending. That's weird. Why don't I get the actual... Oh, there it's fulfilled. Already read. How do I... Need the error. Undefined? This is weird. Is there some way I can like log what it's actually doing? Logger. It sounds like something I would... yeah, logger console. That helps. What is it actually calling? Post. Oh, okay. Target is sandbox. That's probably like why it's... Happy we figured out that JSON 5 thing. Okay, what about now? Now it says unauthorized. So it goes from /sandbox https://stream sandbox. I'm very curious if it actually adds like the headers. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna copy them for now. And then we need to get the CSP API key. I think you can just import in the same way. Okay, let's try this and see if... Oh, can we find... Oh. Oh, as... How does this work? Import assertion type. Just my mother messaging. She's coming visiting and I'm trying to pay for her plane tickets, but she keeps sending me money every time I order, which is kind of annoying. Import assertion type. I can't remember. I never used this syntax before. Assert type JSON. It's interesting. This is the first time I'm going to use this. It still says unauthorized. So maybe this is more... I can't remember where I created the key. The global idea. You mean what the purpose of this thing is? Oh, yeah. So on Code Sandbox, there is a dashboard and you can create a new sandbox. And we have all these different templates to create like starting points for playing around with an idea, prototyping something. And the idea is that you should be able to rather just write a prompt for some prototype you want to play around with. And it's not necessarily, I'm not sure about the value of that, but it's a cool marketing thing. So that's basically it. Just create something that can actually be used by someone. And then see what learnings we get from that. But I think it will be valuable because very often people come here and there is something very specific they want to do, but they always have these very low level generic starting points. So having the possibility to just say, I want to play with this thing would just put you closer to the starting point you really wanted. So you don't have to manually like install the dependencies and write the initial code and all of that. But yeah. But the main purpose isn't really making this an amazing feature. It's just an excuse to a bit more like marketing thing, a cool thing, right? It's just cool more than anything. But we'll see the result of it. Maybe it's just shitty. But anyways, I love like working on stuff where I have a very clear idea of what the end result could be without too much work. Yeah, I guess you could say that, but it's in like the context of Code Sandbox and the browser runtime we're using. So it has some constraints. So all the code you run on Code Sandbox in the browser needs to be based on a template, because the template defines the runtime, the browser runtime. So you have like one runtime for React, one for Vue, one for vanilla JS, you have one for TypeScript, one for Angular. And then we could also go into like dev boxes, which has like even more templates, because those are run on micro VMs. So we could even do it here, but then it opens up and doesn't really have an initial template. You could really do anything here. But that's why I think sandboxes makes sense for now, because it's very the expectation of the result isn't that high, because it's just a prototype fiddle thing, while a dev box is more you want to start a project, and it's a much more complicated environment, because it's basically a real environment, and the output is like insanely broad as opposed to a sandbox. So it's just a healthy limitation for now, at least. But we need to figure out this unauthorized thing. I'm gonna log into Stream here and see if I actually have this API key. I can't remember. Yeah, we did do this, and I went to like settings, and we have permissions. Yeah, and we have this API key. For some reason, it says I'm not authorized. Why does it say I'm not authorized? Thinking. So the problem for me is like it's this API key. And I kind of need to take a look at it. We're on this stream. Bearer. Hello, Shivam. How are we gonna check this? Maybe we should just check it. I don't care. I can change that API key later, and it's just for like our stream environment on my personal testing account. It doesn't matter. So let's just say const authorization equals console.log authorization. Let's see if we're actually passing the thing. Generate. Should I have a loading indicator here? I can. Let's see. Yeah, so it definitely has the bearer. Okay. Why doesn't it work? Am I missing something? I need to ask Son about this. Post for any workspace should work the same, replacing IO with stream. I am passing the API token on authorization bearer token, but I still get unauthorized. Yeah, I have to ask about this. Like, this is a new thing from us. We have this open API now, so people can like within companies they can create sandboxes and stuff from their own solutions and then run them on Code Sandbox. But I haven't tested it before. And I'm running on stream, so that might be an issue. I could try to create. an API token on production. Maybe it's like we call it stream. It's really staging. But let's see if I get a response. This is on stream, by the way. I'm kind of sitting here now. I need help. Is there something we can do in the meantime? Is there something we can... Yeah, let's just go in and add that loader. Let's see. So we have... You know what? I'm gonna do shitty state management and just do is loading. And then we're gonna do, I guess we're loading all the way up here. Oh, there we are. Set is loading true. And set is loading false. And then where's our button? This is the same here. Opacity is loading, I guess, or 1. And then disabled is if we're loading. It's just nice to have an indication. Do we have any style on this? No. Opacity. I'm not getting an answer. Okay, I'm gonna try to create a production token instead, and then we're gonna see. Let's see. So I need to do this on my other computer because let's see, settings. Yeah, I don't have permission there. Oh, and I don't have. Oh, nice. Create API token. Sandbox POC. Sandbox creating integration. Copy. So let's see. Oh. Okay, so we have that thing. We're gonna move that file. So this now goes to my personal account. And now we can go here. Where's the... Was this now? Yeah, today. Boop! Replace. And we're gonna go to IO instead. And with that authorization, hopefully it works. Boop. Look at that beautiful fading out. Oh, okay, so I'm still getting an error. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna try without these headers first. She said, she said we should fix this, but let's see if it's where's the needs to be uppercase B. And if that doesn't work, we're going to try to insert the headers on the server again. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so now we need to figure out, let's look at the response, store its global variable temp1, and we want, I think we get a JSON response here. And so we get data, and we get the alias that we can use. So this is going to be exciting. So, excuse me. Result is sandbox response. This is going to be a pretty cool moment. You're going to see this now. So we're going to do result, and we are going to get data from it. So let's check first if sandbox response okay. Well, if not okay, throw new error. Await sandbox response text. Here we're getting data, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna say window open code sandbox io s plus data dot, what was it, alias, and we're gonna open that in a new tab. How do you open in tab? Window open target. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it's blank. Cool. Yeah, await. There we go. Cool. Okay. This is gonna be fun. So what should happen now is that we should generate, and it should open a new tab with the generated code in a sandbox running for us to play with. Oh, pop-up blocked. Isn't that great? No. Let's try again. Generate. I tried, like with GPT-4, like the result of this is way better, but it's just so incredibly slow that. Oh yeah, we should go to the new editor. So did it work? So we have the index.html. I wonder what went wrong. Oh, maybe it's just not valid code. Let's see. So oh, this is valid. What did I do wrong? Why doesn't it show anything? First, let's change the URL to p sandbox. Why didn't it work? I can't see anything wrong in the code. Oh, maybe it's the wrong. Can I see the template here? Where's the template? What's the difference between this one and the other one? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. So that's the problem. We actually have to render it. Thinking. Yeah, so this is a tricky thing because it might not generate. I do wonder how tuned it is when I use this term sandbox. Um, like here it does an export default app. Like this isn't the full set of changes needed. The question now is, should we assume that the entry file would just be a component? And then with the template code, we generate what needs to be around it. We can do that. But the thing is, like, even with this, because the thing, like, the mounting points might be different as well. So there are different ways to approach this. Like, you can say, I want this template, and then you prompt, right? I want something with React, and then you prompt, and then you can give information to the prompt about what's the root element to mount in and all of that stuff. Whoa. This is incredible. But this is the problem, like when we played around with the whole big project, this was also a problem. Like it would generate code to like mount the whole application, but we already had the application mounted. Like this was way back when. I guess that's more a problem of like RAG kind of thing. It needs to understand the context of the current app to make changes to it. Yeah, I'm thinking, what should we do here? Okay, so let's just make this assumption now that it will always generate. You know, this is also something we can check. Like, and this is how I feel like AI is always implemented. You kind of imagine it's this magical description. Like now we have a very straightforward mapping of the JSON response to our API. But the thing is, even though we have this strict JSON response, it's still writing code, and that code needs to be executable. So we need to verify, are we actually mounting the app? And if we're not mounting the app, we can like have logic for that. So we can check if the entry is actually using the React DOM package. So we know the template, right? So if the entry doesn't use React DOM, we can add that. This is very interesting. But okay, we're gonna make the magic happen now, and we're gonna do. Let's see. So in create React app, we're gonna check. Let's see. Const entry code is files find. Sorry, data files find file dot file name equals data dot entry. If no entry code, throw new error. The entry does not match any files. Cool. So what we can do now is we can do a check. So we say let entry, and then we're gonna do if entry code includes entry file. If entry file the code includes React Well, I guess we should do well, and this is an issue as well, right? Because React has changed, so it might generate old code in terms of how it mounts React, which is fine. So we have to, yeah, I'm assuming it based on React DOM. We're going to say the entry is the actual data entry. Else, we're going to say entry equals main. Entry is app, sorry. Let's see. Entry. Entry equals. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. What am I thinking here? I'm saying entry file name should equal like app.js, for example. And then, yeah, sorry. So the entry. The problem is I don't really know the name of the entry either. But what we're going to do is we're going to say files, data.files push, file name index.js code is going to be the actual code for mounting. So we're going to import app from app. So we're just going to try this. Import app from app. And the thing I also wanted to do here is to explore actual fine tuning. Because this is a good case for fine tuning, I think, where we can just shove in a bunch of prompts and then we can look at the result of that prompt, we can fix it, and then we shove that into the fine tuning. Because it is a limited set, like it's not open-ended with sandboxes. There's a certain set of templates and they need to have like the entry file needs to be of a certain format. And that's something we can fine tune. So let's call this a temporary hack. Temp hack could be fixed with fine tuning. So how does this actually look like? So we have an example. Okay, so let's just take this one. Yeah, let's drop this one. Now, so this, we have to make sure that we actually, the dependency of React is actually with this package. That might not be, right? So that's interesting. Okay, cool. So what we're basically doing now, we're saying, no, we shouldn't change. Oh yeah, sorry. So old entry file name is now app.js instead. And we're pushing in the new, so we should basically just call this data entry. That's how we should do it. It's now going to be this thing. Okay. Let's try again. Where were we? Okay, magic moment. Are we ready? Generate. Yeah, wait. Could not find module in path. Yeah, exactly. It's importing 17. And it's all training data, right? That's the problem. And this is the problem with writing code. Like, you will always get old data. But we can make another hack here to make this work. I have a feeling like all AI products is going to have hacks in them. So what we're going to do is we're going to completely override. So we're going to build up the depths. And then we're going to say depths equal depths and oops. We're going to override the versions here. Because isn't these the ones in the actual package JSON as well? Yeah. Cool. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to try again. Okay, magic moment. Generate. Magic moment. Cool. It worked. That's awesome. Cool. This is it. Like it's like we have our first version. But let's try doing something else. Oh, I have some cleaning up of sandboxes to do after doing this, but it's pretty cool though. I think it would be awesome, like if you're on the Code Sandbox dashboard and you go want to create a sandbox and you can just add a prompt here instead. I think that would be the degree of like marketing cool, just a cool thing, and actual value, very uncertain about this balance, but that there is some value there, I definitely think so. So let's keep using React. We can add more templates to this, but let's try prompting for something else. I want to explore So the problem here is that people might like try Next.js, for example, and that doesn't work as a sandbox. You need a dev box for that. So it is, I'm not sure how we would validate that. But anyways, let's not be concerned with that. Isn't there like, what do you typically, I want to explore using React to build a to-do. I don't know. What should we ask it? Like, what do people typically want to play around with the library? That's the thing. Okay. I want an app, and I think a problem here. This trained on all data is a big problem. Because even though we can force it to install the latest version of the package, the code it writes isn't for that version of the API. Like it's quite horrible. I want to explore using React to create a to-do application. Oh, immediately breaks. I wonder what it oh yeah, exactly. So this is something it does. I have no idea. This is a this is a GPT 3.5 thing. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna stop creating the sandbox and we're gonna explore the code it generates. I think we can make the code better. And console.log data. Oh, wait, not here. Yeah, we're going to return here. I definitely think we can make GPT work better with a little bit more prompt engineering. Or we can do like validation as well. But then it's like the question of, if you do validation, it's going to take longer to... It's just going to take longer. And I really want to test this fine-tuning. I haven't tried it. And this is such a good... this is such a good use case, I think, for doing fine-tuning. Create. I think, is this the... No, that's the latest one. No, it's that one. Wow. Learn. I think we need to learn. Oh, sorry. Let me zoom it in. So the point here is that we can add some good examples. Of what we want as a result. To use for validation. I have no idea how this works. Batch size. Ugh. I wonder how much do you actually need. I'm not sure if I want to explore this now. So the point is, like, the way it's recommended is that you use GPT-4 to generate a bunch of examples. And then, how do you create a JSON-L format? Oh, there we go. A chatbot that occasionally gives sarcastic responses. Okay, so we can do role system content. Okay, so it's basically the prompt and assistant and the JSON response. That's what we need. You're okay to provide at least 10 examples. We typically say from fine-tuning of 50 to 100 training examples. Okay. Oh, you can also upload a training file. Interesting. But is JSON-L... Is that JSON-L? Is that just having... Yeah. Okay. I wonder if we should do that. Like, we have two things we can do. We can try to, like, prompt engineer it. Or we can go ahead and use GPT-4, create like 10 examples, run the fine-tuning, and then see if it changes something. Okay, let's just do some prompt engineering. So I want to generate a simple example. Oh, I didn't actually say sandbox. A simple example from the following description, delimited. I should probably say that it's going to be code. To generate a simple code Well, it's always a web application. What do we call that? And it's always JavaScript. I want to generate a simple. Yeah. JavaScript code example from the following description. Generate the files. Generate the files. Generate the file and write the code required to run the example. Okay, tiny bit of what was in the new prompt? I would like to use React to create a to-do application. Yeah, like why the hell doesn't it implement the code? It's so weird. Maybe we should drop example. I want to generate simple JavaScript code. I want to generate JavaScript code from the following description. Run the file and write the code required to run the example. Yeah, I think interesting. I would like to explore to do application written in React. Like you can write anything here. That's the thing. Like when it returns that fast, it's always comments. Generate the files and write the code required. And write the code required to run. I find it very curious that it chooses to file it. Yeah. Why does it? Like GPT-4 never does this. And write the JavaScript code required. Generate the files with JavaScript code required to run the. It could be my prompt as well, right? I have a add your code there. Write the code. Okay, let's drop this. So let's just insert a prompt. Write the code. Write the initial code to get me going. It's a very different kind of prompt, but it's an interesting one. Oh, interesting. What did it actually write here? To do app. Oh. Hi. Yeah. You know what? I gotten that feedback from multiple people, that especially people that work remotely, or even just like people like to have some external stimuli when focusing. I'm like that as well. Like I need typically music or something. Um, but yeah, having someone else just talking about code seems to be one of those types of stimuli that some people um, like benefit from. So that's nice to hear, and it helps me as well. Like I don't get exhausted by sitting here talking. This is I just think better. Well, I relative to other like relatively to myself, I think better when I talk out loud. Like I'm not saying my thinking is necessarily that great all the time, but that's thinking, right? It isn't that great all the time. Right, the initial right, create a suggestion, um, and I think it helps with like it's a very typical thing to have imposter syndrome, uh, being an engineer and like working on all of these different complex problems, and there's so many things to acquire an expertise in. And when you meet someone who's like super knowledgeable on something related to code, there's a lot of stuff that person doesn't know. But you get this imposter syndrome and you feel like, oh, should I know about this? And so I think I create most value when I don't understand something, because then it helps for other people to see that that's fine. You can't know everything. Create a suggestion. Create. um, what should the prompt be? So I'm saying I want to do this, and I want to prompt it to create a suggestion. Create a suggested implementation. I'm just gonna write that, and we'll see what happens. By the way, we're gonna let's see. I want to make sure full prompt. I want to make sure that we log this so that I don't have any like bugs related to this. I would like to create a to-do application with React. Generate. It's interesting how it it's not a very good suggestion, is it? Please implement. Maybe we should write pretty please. Pretty please implement a suggestion. Suggest code. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to. Maybe I should ask it to create a sandbox. Pretty please create a sandbox, because it has training data on a shit ton of sandboxes. I think if the training data of OpenAI includes all the sandbox examples from Code Sandbox, that's a shit ton of training data. Create a code sandbox. The code sandbox. Pretty please create a code sandbox to help me get started. Like the help me get started, that's the thing that makes it very ambiguous, I think. To do application with React. yeah, like help me get started is like just render something. I wanted to actually try. Pretty please try to implement um, um, pretty please try to implement uh, try to implement pretty please generate all the code necessary to get this running. Like let's, by the way, let's change the would like React to do application generate. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's interesting. We need this needs to be one shot. We can't have it will just be too slow. If we use GPT-4 or we use any kind of validation, it's just not gonna work. It's like barely there now. But I'm not sure how we're gonna make GPT 3.5 actually generate code. So I'm gonna check my billing, and then I think we're gonna try this. We're gonna try fine tuning now because I never tried it before. So I just wanna see how it works. Oh, we have tons of money. Okay, so let's flip to GPT-4, and now we're gonna make sure that we actually output the format we want. To train it. So that would mean console.log. Let's see. Training data would be. What did it do? It was an array of. Where's the fine tuning? Did I? Oh, JSON-L. Okay, messages. So I think we should just JSON stringify messages, and then we have role as a user, and the actual prompt is, well, it's the prompt. Well, what do I train it on? Do I train it on the actual user prompt, or do I train it on the enhanced prompt, like with the actual pretty please generate all the code necessary to get this running? Okay, let's just try prompt first, and then role assistant, and now we're gonna, oh, it's not prompt, it's content, right? Yeah, content. And then content here would be the actual JSON we get back. So that would be JSON stringify. Yeah, let's format that. I'm not sure if that's necessary, but it's just a hunch. Okay, so now we actually get the training data for this. So we can start like copy pasting that into a file. So let's create that file. Is JSON-L an actual? Yeah, JSON lines. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, let's try it. Move to GPT-4. GPT-4. Yeah, it doesn't really need to be turbo either. Is turbo cheaper? Let's use turbo. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens now. Generate. So it's taking a long time, right? But it's because it's thinking. Like, this is the time it takes to do. Well, let's look at the result, but like, this is way too much time to wait for a suggestion for a sandbox. Oh, maybe something went wrong? No, I should have seen it there. There we have it. So we see that it generates way better. Now the question is, does this actually work? We should probably check that as well. But let's imagine it works. App.js, use state. There's some state here. Yeah, with to-dos and stuff. Okay, so let's try to get that data in here. So that's one line. And then we're gonna ask it something else. Oh, maybe we should open it up again after it's, where is it? Set loading, false. You know what? We're actually going to go through the whole thing. So we're gonna see if it's actually running. Okay. And then, what's the kind of stuff that people want to do? I want to explore using React with Radix, for example. Wonder what it does now. Wonder what it does. Oh, can fetch the dependencies. Radix UI. Why can't it do that? V2. Package. Radix UI React button. Is that an actual package? I don't think it is. So kind of have to validate all the Radix UI React button. Is that a thing? No, it's not. Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is just getting worse and worse. Like, I think this is a really good this is good exploration. Like, it just, we're doing the most simple thing you can do with code generation, which is to just have a tiny little sandbox showing something. And like, to actually make that work, it's not like we have predictable structured JSON now, which is great. But what do you populate that JSON with? And like, it needs to fill it with npm packages, and that means you have to validate npm packages. And even here, it, for a product experience, it needs to be one shot. It needs to be super fast. But let's look at what it wrote there. Why did it think? Maybe there was a Radix UI React button at some point. Radix UI. Documentation. Button. How do I get it? Wait, how do I actually use source? Oh, how does this actually work? Oh, you get it from themes. Yeah. And maybe it worked differently before, right? That's the thing. Maybe there was a React button, but they changed it to themes, and then you import from there. So the thing is, you can't really like, we're giving way too much cred to these LLMs. Like, it makes so much sense that it doesn't have a chance to figure this stuff out. And we could do a lot of stuff to validate what it's trying to do, but at the end of the day, like, what we could do is we can go and look and validate the npm package. We can try to find the documentation, go and read the documentation, validate the code, like it, but that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like what we've been discussing, like, also internally, like, as I've been going through this, I've been sharing with the team, and we're talking about how open-ended the input of human language is in the context of code. That it doesn't actually make any sense to write natural language to convey a goal of writing some piece of code. So it rather, you need other tools to convey this goal. And the question is, what are those tools? So you can think here like, okay, so you want to generate some code, but it's too open-ended to have natural language. So what if the input wasn't natural language? It could be like you just hit some tags, like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. But just as an example, you would rather go and you would like click React, and then when you click React, you would have like a bunch of dependencies related to React, and you could like click the dependencies, and then it will kind of generate something from those dependencies. That's a very different kind of product. So you would basically, you wouldn't write natural language, you would just add dependencies, and then it would generate something out of those dependencies. That's an interesting thing. We could try that actually. So let's try that. Create something using the packages React and Radix UI themes. because that's kind of what's interesting about this from like the kind of product thing we want to do is that it's also a way to think about like why do people want to create sandboxes? It's typically to play around with some dependency. So I guess it's canary properties of null. Is this the dark theme? I'm missing a dependency, right? I'm gonna try adding this and see if it works. Could not fetch dependencies. Which dependency? Oh, React theme? Is that an actual? Or themes? What's that? What's the missing dependency? Cannot read. What's the missing dependency? Could not fetch dependencies. What dependency? We're just using React DOM. Oh, is it because I have React scripts in here? No. What the hell? What's the... I'm confused. What dependencies? Okay, so it's the actual... wait, let me refresh. Could not fetch dependencies. So there's something here it doesn't understand. Let me check. Radix UI themes. Oh, yeah. So it's that version as well, right? So it's messing up the version. Expected string. Why is it complaining about that? So there's something about the theme provide. Maybe it's just Radix UI. Yeah. You see this? Like it's different now. Like it just won't work. It's theme. Do you see that? Okay. So like this just won't work. This just won't work. We have to train it on all kinds of libraries to make this work. I wonder what would be interesting is to take all our sandbox data and generate the JSON-L. So we would kind of, so imagine like you go to the dashboard here. Isn't there like a, Yeah, whatever. Where's the... Don't we have like a... I can't remember. Well, whatever. So we could go and grab all sandboxes that has a description. We wouldn't even need that. Like, we could take all the sandboxes, the code, we could pass the code to an LLM, ask it to describe the code, and then we can fine tune it by using that, like, that LLM response of the code to kind of, we ask it to generate a prompt for generating that code by looking at the code. And then we would go in and we would fine tune a model to generate sandboxes. But just having, like, we could have, yeah, as I said, like, you only need like 100. So we could try with 100 first. And then it would, at least it would be trained on actual running sandboxes. But still, as soon as something pops up, like someone releases a new library, right? Someone releases a new library, and then you prompt it to, you want to explore this library. It has no idea what that library is or how to use it. This is so fascinating. Like, we just have this idea that it's magically gonna work. Um, yeah. I wish I had some learning and understanding of how much it helps to train it. But it wouldn't take, it's not much work to ask for 100 sandboxes with a certain template and that has a certain, well, yeah, that has a certain amount, because we track how many times you save a sandbox. So like a certain amount of saves, meaning that there's been some coding there. Or versions, we update a version. So it needs to have like above version 10 or 5, needs to be create React app. Give me 100 sandboxes. We'll run the files through an LLM to generate a fitting prompt for generating that code. And when we take that, we create a JSON-L file with the prompt and the actual expected result, which is basically its npm dependencies, external resources, and of course the code. And then we fine tune a model on that. And then we start asking it about stuff. That will be such a great learning experience. Yeah. I think I want to ask for 100 sandboxes. That fits that criteria. Just to learn about that. Because either that or we need to find something else. Like, this is never gonna work. Or you can't have dependencies. Like, what we do is that we use the dependencies array or the dependencies suggested to basically give an error saying that no, you can't generate the sandbox with a dependency. But that's bad, right? That's not a good experience. So you can generate sandboxes with external resources maybe, but you can't use npm dependencies because it's just versioning, API changes. But even external, like Tailwind would also change, right? Yeah, it's interesting. We could actually ask it to fill in dependencies just to throw an error. So if you add in dependencies that's not part of the template, we'll just say sorry, but dependencies are unreliable. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna think a bit on this because I really want to create something. I just don't know. Typically, like that's it's so true for everything. It's like either you have the tool or you have the idea. You have an idea, but you don't have the tool to make that idea happen. Or you have the tool, but you have no idea what to use it for. That's the case here. But I'm really happy that we actually found that JSON 5 thing. Did I actually push it? Oh. Yeah. No, that's it. We'll talk later.